So just to be honest, Jane has only barked one time at the doorbell and door knocking during the day. We did correct her for it. I think around 30. She's pretty sensitive, 20, 30. And she never did again during the day. But at night, she's a little different. She'll sneak in some woofs. She's more on edge. That's really common for dogs. Please keep that in mind. Because she didn't bark, and she's looking to me,
Just a minute.
she's getting her food work. We do food work with dogs that are really nervous and they're not really intent on going after someone coming through the door. We do food work to work on that nervousness, so they will be conditioned to look at us more for guidance. It's not going to magically make her like people, but it will get her focused more on me faster. So this breakdown is really important. I let her see the person. Then I say hello to the person. Then when the other person says hello and the dog doesn't react, I pick up the leash and I remain in the middle, in control of my home. Just make sure you don't take one step forward in the process until you're happy. Just like if a dog barks and I correct them and they stop barking, that's not when I let someone in if I'm practicing. I want to do several repetitions of the knocking till they can settle down, because that's what I'm rewarding. Whatever state of mind your dog is in when you move to the next step, that's what you're rewarding.
Good job. I'll be doing your little shark costume. This is who you guys are taking today. Good. Good job. Take a couple steps forward.
This is one of my trainer's husbands. She's never met him before, and he brought their dog because they're going on a little excursion to Santa Monica later. So it was a great opportunity to work her with someone brand new. Now, even though he's done this about 1,000 times now, I'm still giving him a ton of instruction. Make sure you give your guests lots of guidance and prep them before they come for what they're in store for. Now, you could stop there, but if you really want, if your guest is really open to helping you work with your dog and you really want to build their threshold, first, you've got a choice. You either move the dog around the person or the person around the dog. The person moving around the dog is harder, okay? The dog has to be stationary. So what we're doing right now, and she's ready for this. So what we're doing right now is we're actually putting pressure on Jane. First, we have the guest walk around when Jane's fine with that. Now we're putting pressure on Jane to see what she does. And every time she looks at me, good food, good food, good food. If her ear's alert, I will tap a low level on e-collar. Now we might practice this 15 times in one session. Maybe your guest could just do it 3 or 4 or 5 times. But what I'm doing is I'm giving Jane permission to move away from stress. So she'll react, right? Or she'll sit there and be really fearful, afraid something bad will happen. Or she can feel release, a physical release, and move away. I'm giving her that permission to do that. This next step is really not necessary unless it's someone who lives in the home with you. But I'm the trainer. I need to see what her threshold is. I need to see what it looks like when she, really goes for it, when she's over threshold. I need to see if it's controllable, how to control it, all those things. And then if nothing happens, I can just build up more proofing with her moving away from stress. And that's basically what I'm doing. She did not react to him doing this at all. So instead, and she prompted that quick. I was happy to see that. So instead, I'm just really proofing the command under great stress. Look at that. Now, I don't want her bolting. So I do slow her down. I don't want her bolting, but I can just use the leash to calmly guide her. I really thought Jane could warm up really quick, even though she'll still get an attitude with him moving around after he settles in. But I wanted to just do a little bit of food work to see what it was like helpful. What's it like? What does she do? Does she change her mindset? She really didn't. She doesn't. She'll take food from you, but she is not interested in you touching her head or her neck. I do think long term, if someone was to be at your home a lot, it's useful. Short term, it's just not going to be with a dog like her. And that's not uncommon. Food work does not magically change perception. It takes thousands of repetitions to truly even have a chance at doing that, paired with other types of training, calming training and things like that. Now, the last thing I like to do is, if the person is willing, to just take the leash and start walking the dog. If I was nervous at all, she would be on her muzzle. But just take the leash, don't look at her, your body language is to the side, and just start to walk her. So this part is kind of a don't do this at home without proper supervision disclaimer, because if he had pet her head when she does this, we're trying to get her to get a little close, get comfortable, and then she wanted to hop up. Well, if a dog that might bite you wants to hop up, you don't really mess with that too much. You kind of take stock of the situation for a second and figure it out. She hopped right up there. If he had touched her head, if she had seen him reach in, she would have bit him. So I know that's a little hard to believe. That doesn't make sense. She just jumped up in his lap. You just got to trust me on that. She was doing that out of habit, and it had nothing to do, there's her nervous kisses. It had nothing to do with her wanting to be pet. So you see him sitting forward. See that glance right there? Nervous. And here's just the repeat, very nervous, very different than her jumping up, which would make you think she wants to be pet. Her nervous kisses would make you think she wants to be pet, but she does not. So if you're seeing that in a dog, in a friend's dog, neighbor dog, please keep that in mind. It does not necessarily mean your dog wants to be pet, because she would bite him if he had went towards the head or the face. But he knows what he's doing. But not everybody can control themselves or know what the right thing is to do. And that's why I came over, grabbed the leash, safely got her off.